High in the mountains of the Caucasus, men who have lived past 100 begin every morning with something most Americans throw straight in the trash. In India, monks drank a glowing golden potion 3,000 years before a single lab test existed. And one of America's own founding fathers, crippled by joint pain, left behind a strange clue about the cure. Were these just old habits? Or did they know something about our joints that science is only now catching up to? These are 6 foods and the healers who found them first. Fatty fish. For the native peoples of the Pacific Northwest, salmon was not just food, it was sacred. Entire tribes held a first salmon ceremony each year, treating the fish as an honored guest and returning its bones to the river so it would come back. They ate it constantly, and early explorers noted how rarely these communities suffered the stiff, swollen joints common back home. Coincidence? Not quite. Salmon, sardines, and mackerel are the richest natural source of omega-3 fatty acids, EPA and DHA. These fats become part of the membranes of your cartilage cells and reduce the inflammatory compounds, cytokines, and prostaglandins that cause swelling and morning stiffness. Clinical trials in people with rheumatoid arthritis found that regular omega-3 intake reduced joint tenderness enough that some patients lowered their dose of anti-inflammatory drugs. But preparation matters, and here most people go wrong. Deep frying at high heat destroys the omega-3s and replaces them with oxidized fats that do the opposite of what you want. Baking, steaming, or gentle pan cooking preserves them. 2 to 3 servings a week, the amount used in the successful studies. The tribes were right. Bone broth. This is the Caucasus secret from the opening. In the mountain villages of Georgia and Armenia, home to some of the highest concentrations of centenarians on Earth, men start the day with kash, a thick broth simmered all night from the cow's feet and knuckles, the very parts modern kitchens discard as garbage. It sounds like peasant superstition. It isn't. When bones and connective tissue cook slowly for 12 to 24 hours, collagen breaks down into gelatin, and the amino acids glycine and proline, the exact building blocks your body uses to repair cartilage, tendons, and ligaments. In a study at Penn State, athletes taking hydrolyzed collagen daily reported significantly less joint pain after 24 weeks than those on placebo. The old men eating cow's feet were eating pure joint repair material. The test of a real broth is simple. Cool it in the fridge and it should turn to jelly. If it stays liquid, there wasn't enough collagen in the pot. Add a spoonful of vinegar at the start. The mild acid pulls the collagen and minerals from the bones. Broccoli. Long before anyone understood why, the Romans treated certain cabbages as medicine. Pliny the Elder, writing 2,000 years ago, praised the cabbage family as a cure for aches and swelling, and Roman legionaries carried it as a healing food. For centuries, this looked like folklore, until a laboratory at the University of East Anglia found the mechanism. Broccoli contains a compound called sulforaphane, and in their studies it blocked the very enzymes that break down cartilage, the destructive process at the heart of osteoarthritis. In animal tests, a sulforaphane-rich diet visibly slowed cartilage damage. But here's the catch almost nobody knows. Broccoli doesn't contain sulforaphane in its ready form. It holds a precursor, plus an enzyme called myrosinase, and the two only combine when the plant is chopped or chewed. Boiling destroys the enzyme, so long-boiled broccoli loses most of the benefit. Light steaming, 3 to 4 minutes until bright green, or eating it raw is the answer. A trick from the researchers: chop it and let it rest 40 minutes before cooking. The reaction happens on the cutting board, and the sulforaphane that forms survives heat. Turmeric. This is the golden potion of the Indian monks. For over 3,000 years, Ayurvedic healers prescribed turmeric, and golden milk, turmeric simmered in milk and pepper, was drunk by yogis and holy men for aching joints, long before the word inflammation existed. Skeptics called it colored spice. Then modern trials gave it numbers. Curcumin, the active compound, was tested head-to-head against ibuprofen in over 300 patients with knee osteoarthritis, and it relieved pain about as well, with fewer stomach side effects. The healers were right, but they were also, without knowing it, chemically clever. Curcumin on its own is barely absorbed. 2 things unlock it. Black pepper. Its compound piperine boosts absorption by up to 2,000%, 20 times. And fat. Curcumin is fat-soluble and needs oil to enter the blood. Golden milk contains both the fat of the milk and, traditionally, a pinch of pepper. A curry, turmeric fried in oil with pepper, is a perfect delivery system. A pinch of turmeric swallowed in plain water is mostly wasted. Extra virgin olive oil. In the Bible, oil is the substance of healing and blessing. The wounded traveler in the parable of the Good Samaritan has oil poured on his wounds, and the sick are anointed with it. On Mount Athos, Orthodox monks have lived for centuries on bread, vegetables, and olive oil, and observers have long noted how little inflammatory joint disease appears among them. Sacred symbolism, or real medicine? In 2005, researchers reported in the journal Nature that oleocanthal, the compound that gives good olive oil its peppery sting, blocks the same inflammatory enzymes as ibuprofen, a natural painkiller hiding in the holy oil. The dose from a meal is small but constant, and Mediterranean populations who consume it for life show lower rates of inflammatory joint disease. The rules are strict. Only extra virgin oil carries real oleocanthal. Refined light olive oil has almost none, and heat breaks it down, so the correct use is the ancient one, poured over food after cooking. The stronger the peppery bite in your throat, the more medicine you're getting. Tart cherries. They called it the disease of kings, gout, the agonizing arthritis that struck the rich who feasted on meat and wine. Its most famous American sufferer was Benjamin Franklin, who was tormented by it for years and even wrote a witty essay, Dialogue Between Franklin and the Gout. For generations, folk healers swore that sour cherries eased the attacks, and they were dismissed as an old wives' tale. They were correct. Tart cherries, the sour Montmorency kind, not the sweet dessert type, are loaded with anthocyanins, the deep red pigments that lower C-reactive protein, a key marker of inflammation, and reduce uric acid, the substance that crystallizes inside joints to cause gout. In a study of over 600 gout patients, those who ate cherries regularly had about 35% fewer attacks. Athletes now use tart cherry juice to cut joint and muscle soreness after training. A glass of unsweetened juice or a handful of the fruit a few times a week is the studied amount. One warning: cherry products loaded with added sugar cancel the benefit because sugar itself raises uric acid. Sour on purpose. That's the version the old healers meant.